The 2018 reboot of God of War completely changed the way I feel about video games. I had played good games before, even great ones, but not one that could move me in this way and not one that made me feel like real life moments have before. That's why I regard this game as the best game I've ever experienced. And since the release of God of War, I've become a father, which I found out after playing the PC version again recently, has only made those feelings multiply. An already incredible game is now on an entirely new level I never knew existed. So I guess you could say I'm kind of excited for the sequel to this game, he says while clutching a Leviathan axe made by a real blacksmith. I'm in an entirely new realm of excitement to be returning to the world of God of War, even more so because we haven't seen anything from God of War Ragnarok in like months. Excited to return to the axe wielding, blade swinging and Aesir god killing ways of Kratos in objectively the best game ever made. And yes, I said objectively, so the rules are you cannot disagree. This video today, true gamers, are my top 5 things that I want to see in God of War Ragnarok. If you like this video, hit that like button, and if you like what I'm doing here, you can subscribe to our channel, Conbrosations, by clicking the link in the description. Cool place, we do a weekly gaming podcast and gameplay videos, you'll like it, trust me. Number 1, the first thing that I feel like every God of War fan in all of the 9 realms wants to know is who really was Faye, and what happened to her in her life prior to us picking up the journey in 2018. In the 2018 reboot, we spend the entire game carrying the ashes of someone who we are told is a mortal mother who just fell in love with Kratos somehow, got married, got a magical ice axe from 2 master blacksmiths, and mothered a child called Atreus and taught him how to hunt with a bow and arrow. And that's basically it. We don't know the circumstances of her death, we don't know how or why she got the Leviathan axe, we don't know how she met Kratos and how they fell in love, we don't know any of her past. Not until that is the very last moments of the game where we get a glimpse into the events of her life and the events of the game that we just played, laid out on the walls of the cave in Jotunheim. We found out in the last moments that Faye was a great warrioress and a giant who traveled the realms helping people, and that she also helped Tyr hide the gateway of Jotunheim in an effort to stop Thor, the cruel god of thunder, from killing the last of the giants. We find out from Mimir that Faye, or Laufey, is known across the realms as a powerful yet kind warrior, helping those who are tortured by the cruel gods and their king, Odin. She was said to have great magical powers, incredibly strong, and such a skilled warrior that it attracted the attention of Thor himself, as he wanted to fight someone worthy of him. But he could never find her. She would always remain hidden and escape him, as well as Odin. I'm guessing that's because of her ability to see the future and always being able to see when danger is coming, given the fact that she could see past her own death and inscribe all of that stuff on the walls in the cave in Jotunheim. All of this is why I want to see more of Faye. There is this huge part of Kratos and Atreus that we just don't know anything about, and it would be so cool to finally see it. In my opinion, you can do this one of 2 ways. Either flashbacks of the time together and moments where Kratos and Atreus maybe see something but brushes it off as if it's nothing, or full sections of the past where we get to see more of the things she did while she was in Midgard with Atreus and our Greek god. This is what I want to see in God of War Ragnarok, along with why she decided to leave her former life behind for a family life with Kratos, why she hid her true self from Kratos, especially after he told her about all the horrific parts of his past, all before they both fell in love with each other. Yeah, I really feel like there's potential for something great there, and I desperately want to know. And that point kind of leads me right into number 2. I hope we get a portion of the game where Atreus gets to relive some of the memories of him and his mother, and somehow have Kratos talk to Faye one last time in the here and now. The Atreus part I think would be great to give that deep, rich connection that we have between Kratos and Atreus, but this time with his mother. We know he loved her deeply, but we never actually see why, and us reliving those memories of Atreus's past and seeing some of the teachings his mother gave him, maybe some things that we'll find useful in Ragnarok, maybe some things of them discovering Atreus's abilities to read many languages and feelings of what animals are feeling, like he did on the bridge with that animal the first time he was meeting Brock. Something to really connect us to her and understand their relationship. The best part about God of War 2018 is that deep connection between Kratos and his son. And a mother-son relationship is equally as strong, and it will be great to see that, and to see in whose name they traveled all those realms for all those dark elves, dragons, and Aesir gods to spread the ashes of in the first place. There's a book that you can buy on Amazon or wherever you buy books nowadays called God of War Lore and Legends. I highly recommend it. It's actually really cool, and it sort of starts off a little bit before the 2018 game. It's written in the perspective of Atreus's journal, so you get a little bit more of a feeling of how Atreus felt about his mother and the teachings that he's had. It's very, very cool. I highly recommend it if you're like me and love the first game so much and just want to get like a little bit more out of it. Anyway, in this book it gives us a little bit more information about what kind of mother Faye was to Atreus and how she noticed things about him as he grew and was always filled with insightful words that made Atreus think about things differently. It really shows a glimpse of someone very wise, caring, and truly special, and I would like to see that relationship on screen and feel it the way that 2018 God of War made me feel. I think that would be amazing. And now for the really important part. I want to see a moment between Kratos and Faye again. And I'm not talking about a flashback or a memory, I'm talking about in the here and now. Enough time for Kratos to ask why she never told him about being a giant, why she didn't tell him about the legends of her across all of the realms, and how she knew that a simple request of scattering her ashes at the highest peak of all of the realms would bring the Aesir gods literally knocking at their door and take them on this adventure and bring him and Atreus closer together. And another reason why I want to see this is because I want to see the love that they have for each other. The love that made this warrior and this Greek god give up everything and settle down and make Atreus. I think personally that would be amazing to see. Like I said, in my mind this would have to be Kratos somehow communicating with her in the here and now, like after she's dead, so he can ask questions and get responses back for everything that he wants to know. I don't 100% know how that could be done, that could be good. One way would be maybe that she could like talk into the past. If she can see the future and see like when Kratos is going to be watching her from the past or wherever it's going to be, maybe she can talk those words then, because she does have the ability to see the future. We've seen that from the paintings on the walls in Jotunheim. Sort of her talking forward into the future. Not really sure on that one fully though. Or this could be a Kratos dying situation, going to the afterlife, having his moment with Faye, asking the questions that he wants to ask, seeing her one last time, and then being pulled back into the realm of the living. A bit like that final panel on the walls in Jotunheim where Kratos is dying in Atreus' arms. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into it, you know. But yeah, I think that would be really cool, and it would be something that would deepen this relationship, give us even more of a feeling for Kratos, Atreus, and his mother. I personally would really love to see that. Let me know if you think that also in the comment section. And number 3, the third thing I want to see in God of War Ragnarok is more finishers and more enemy types. I loved the combat in God of War. It wasn't complicated, it wasn't button mashy, and there was a nice variety of runic attacks that made it feel fresh and cool. In the trailers for God of War Ragnarok, we have seen they've added a few new mechanics like the chain pull and the shield slam move, which looks dope as fuck, and should give the combat a good feeling of freshness. The finishers and the enemy types in God of War 2018 did start to feel a little bit stale after a while. Yeah, we got some badass bosses like Baldur and Thor's sons, and we fought the occasional troll or dragon, but the standard enemies were kind of all the same, with the difference being that one of them was an ice type and the other one was a fire type thingy. Or those freaking annoying green acid type mother truckers. I swear to God, those guys sucked. They sucked. Overall though, not really much there. And then the finishers for all of them were the same rip, slam, and squash. What I'm saying is it got old after a while. So what I'm hoping for in Ragnarok is more enemy types and more of those cool finishers to mix it up. In the trailer, we did see a bunch of new enemies like the dead-looking human-type enemies, the frog-type thing, this big guy, and a centaur, which was really cool looking. All of those look great, and I hope they have all kinds of ways to finish them, depending on what direction you come from, etc. That's all I'm asking for, just a little bit more variety to keep what I'm seeing fresh. Number 4 on my list, I hope that we get to see a more deeper and more meaningful look at all of the 9 realms. I say all because we really didn't get to see much of any of the realms, just a kind of a glance. Helheim we were in briefly, as it was just to escape hell and once again retrieve the heart from the Bridgekeeper. Niflheim was just a maze mini game. Muspelheim was just a horde mode-ish type trials game. Jotunheim we saw for all of 10 minutes at the end of the game through a cutscene. And Midgard, well, while we spent a lot of our time in Midgard, and there are a lot of locations in this realm, we didn't even see any people. The land of mortals, and we didn't even see one. I'll give Alfheim its credit. We got to see a fair bit of it. The light and the dark elves, it was great. That one I'll give you. Anyway, I hope that we get to see more of the 9 realms, what makes them unique, and the life each one of them have. It's already been confirmed that we will be going to all of the 9 realms, which is awesome. I can't wait to see the colorful forests of Vanaheim properly, the grand homeland of the Aesir gods themselves, Asgard, and the ancestral lands of the dwarves, yeah, that's not gonna work. That. As Ragnarok the event involves all of the 9 realms, it'll be great to see what's in all of these realms, to see exactly what's at stake, to give it a bit more meaning, you know? Yeah, I hope we get to see more of the realms. And finally, at number 5, I hope we get to fight Odin. Oh, we have to fight Odin, come on! This is what I hope the entirety of God of War is leading up to. Kratos fought Zeus and killed him, the greatest of all of the Greek gods. And now in another land, he and his son have killed his grandsons, Modi and Magni, and killed his most beloved of sons, Balder. We simply must be leading up to a massive fight with Odin, the All-Father himself. Because, I mean, it's likely the way things are being set up, we will have slaughtered his entire family in this game. Thor's coming to fight us. We are going to take him down, boys. And because of that, in order to make sure that Kratos and Atreus are safe from any further danger, the whole family needs to go. Odin as well. They must end the threat for good. So, I guess, you know, Odin, All-Father. Here we come. Anyway, guys, that's my top 5 things that I want to see in God of War Ragnarok. I'm super excited. As of right now, it's still coming out in 2022. People are scared that it's going to get delayed. I'm still in the camp that it's coming out. You can let me know in the comment section which one you think is going to happen. Is it going to get delayed to 2023? Who knows? But we could be days away as of recording today from a reveal. It's coming up to June, Summer Game Fest and all that stuff. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see more of this game and to actually have it in my hands one day. Those are my top 5 things, guys. Let me know if there's anything in the comment section that you wanna see in God of War Ragnarok. Wait, there's one more thing, a sick thing. Who blew the fucking horn? Tell me now. Come on, we need to know. That's something we need to know in God of War Ragnarok. Who blew the horn? Check you later, guys. Subscribe to Conbrosations. Yeah.